Use freelancers in a strategic fashion for small tasks that require a specific hard-to-find skill set. Do not use freelancers for any long-term engagement, as you will likely face a lot of problems with them regarding their schedule and availability and quality of work. Freelancers usually have other engagements and will not prioritize your project's work. They will work on your project as and when they feel like doing so. You will have more challenges in supervising and managing them, as they will likely work remotely and will also have limited availability. Hi everyone, this is Vivek Shrivastava. Welcome to my channel. Today I have for you a lessons learned video where I will warn you about the dangers of working with freelancers. First, let me clarify that not all freelancers are problematic, and there are professional and competent freelancers out there. But generally, you will have a lot of problems with freelancers, and they should not be considered for any sort of long-term engagement in your startup. During my own startup's development, after I parted ways with an incompetent and dishonest third-party outfit, I was looking for suitable replacements, and I decided to try out freelancers so that at least some progress would be made while I found more permanent solutions. I ended up hiring one freelancer after another, and my experience with them was nothing short of a nightmare. The biggest problem with freelancers is that they will have other projects besides yours. A lot of them have regular jobs and families, which means you and your startup will be low priority for them, and they will work on your startup when it suits them and will not work on it as and when it suits them to not work on it. They will not be fearful of losing your assignment, as it is spare change for them, and will generally behave as if they are doing you a big favor for the small amount of time and effort that they end up putting in. Are all freelancers awful? No, I'm not saying that. Among other things, a lot will depend on the country that you are in. I would imagine that freelancers in a country like the USA would be more professional and reliable than those in a developing country. Things will vary from freelancer to freelancer, with some being very professional and competent, and others being little better than scam artists. Another reason to avoid freelancers is that you will generally not have much supervisory control over them. They will more than likely work remotely, and checking up on the quantity and quality of their work will be that much more challenging for you. Freelancers are best used in a surgical fashion, when you have a small but specific task that only a somewhat rare skill set can complete. In my startup, I needed an algorithm writing expert for a small task that required a specific skill set. I found and used a freelancer who had that skill set, and while I did face all the aforementioned problems with him, because of the small scope of the work that he had to perform, all the problems working with him were somewhat manageable. However, when I was working with other freelancers in an attempt to get a larger scope of work done in a long-term timeline, it was a nightmare. One freelancer I nicknamed the Tomorrow Man. He would say day after day that he would get a task completed by tomorrow. And when tomorrow came, he would again say tomorrow. This would go on for days and weeks. After a while, I let it go on just for my amusement and to see how long he would carry on like this. He showed zero regret, zero shame, and would just keep saying tomorrow, tomorrow every day. Since he wasn't working that many hours, he didn't charge me that much, so I wasn't really paying very much, and therefore it wasn't a financial loss for me, but the time delay because of him was significant. Another freelancer would barely put in any time, but would blame all the problems in his life on being involved in my startup. He would get angry and start yelling at me for the slightest reason. How this project was the cause of the problems in his life when he hardly put any time in it, I do not understand. Another freelancer would not inform me of any future unavailability on his part and would simply disappear when he was on vacation or taking a day off. Then I would have to reach out to him to find out what happened and why progress wasn't being made. And it would be that much extra effort and aggravation for me. He would not inform me of his upcoming time off because he wanted to avoid my disappointment and any negative comments that I might make at his unavailability. On top of all of this, because of their limited availability, any coordination between them for issues that required a group discussion was very difficult to orchestrate. Furthermore, a lot of the work they did had to be reworked for a number of reasons, and it was all basically a wasted effort. So all in all, an absolutely horrible experience and something I will never repeat again. I had to strategically get rid of all of these freelancers and replace them with proper staff. So what should you do if freelancers are not a good option? I will make a future video in which I will go into more detail on the topic of staffing. For now, I will simply say that hiring an employee who will sit in front of you and work in front of you on a full-time basis is the best option for you in terms of performance and management. While this will be the more expensive option, in the long run, it will be the best choice for your startup. So that's all I have on the topic of freelancers and the challenges that come with them. In this video, I wanted to explain the problems that you will likely face when working with freelancers and that it is best to mostly avoid them. I hope you found the content useful. Please comment below and provide your feedback. See you all next time. Take care and good luck, everyone.